I chose the path of a global vet, which usually takes me to some of the most remote locations of the planet, putting me face to face with all sorts of species, as well as the treacherous environments that surround them. My journey has led to some interesting characters, mind-blowing situations, and even modeling gigs. No day is alike, or predictable, but it's my animal friends that matter most. I'm traversing the globe. I'm using cutting-edge medical practices, and ancient ones. I'm saving lives. I am Dr. Wild. So what is my day like? Well, it's not terribly different from yours. I wake up, crawl out of bed, I have my coffee, and I get in the car, or on an elephant, or however I can manage to commute to the office.
Are you a doctor?
For animals, real doctors treat more than one species. Kidding. As a wildlife vet, people often ask me where my office is. I tell them, everywhere. They ask what my hours are, and I say, all of them. I'm sometimes surprised at how I wound up here. But over the course of many years and odd opportunities in animal medicine, I began to collect some really unique skill sets. For instance, my studies in Eastern medicine led to my Chinese veterinary acupuncture sessions, which I decided to perform on elephants. Yeah, you heard me right. I do acupuncture on elephants.
You're doing so great, Bubba. I know. That one hurts on me too.
And apparently, I was the first person to do this in the past 3,000 years. Many times when the call comes, I don't know all the logistics or exactly how I'm going to get to a place. I'm usually half told what's going on with the animal and how long we have to respond. This particular call came from the African Wildlife Foundation. They needed assistance with lions in Tanzania, chimps in Uganda, gorillas in Rwanda, elephants in Zimbabwe. Okay, no specifics, just this is the situation. Just bring the supplies necessary, and that's what I do. Nothing in my line of work is ever simple, including heading to Ngamba Island Chimpanzee Sanctuary. So we did manage to survive the boat trip, and then started our tour of the island to meet its well-respected and rather loud guests. I'm gonna aim this way. The most pressing situation was to take care of a very heartbroken little chimp named Rambo, who unfortunately got into a little spat with another chimp over a girl. As a reward, he received a little punch on his cheek that resulted in an abscess. My assignment was to knock out Rambo, not quite how he had received his abscess, but anesthetically knock him out and drain out his abscess. We would also do a routine physical and routine blood work. None of this could be done without my fellow colleague and wildlife veterinarian, Dr. Joshua, and of course, the keepers at Ngamba Island. With this procedure and anesthetic concern, he wanted assistance from someone with my specific background. Do you want me to run anesthesia? You want to do anesthesia procedure? What do you want?
You do the procedure.
Sure.
To watch you.
Sounds great. No, I love it. I love squeezing the pus. This can get pretty gross. Think of it as essentially the ultimate Dr. Pimple Popper. Whether it's just a simple physical examination that requires anesthesia, or if it's something that's a little bit more invasive, like a little surgery, I make sure that we have a checklist before I even enter the building. So we want him to have a little bit of pain so he's aware that he needs to tend to himself, but we also don't want him to be so painful that obviously he's painful, and B, that the others can pick on him easily. So it's a balancing act. Do you want me to give it in? The procedure began. Rambo went down quite easily. One shot, done. So I do every examination the same exact way, literally from head to toe. You don't want to forget, oh, did you forget to take a urine sample? Oh, did you forget to grab some blood? You want to make sure that you have instant IV access, so that way if you need something, like you need to reverse a drug because they're having a reaction, you have that ability. Rambo's abscess had already gone unattended for about a month. Slowly, I made the incision and began to drain the abscess.
Oh, it's juicy, all right. This will continue to drain, which is a good thing. And eventually the fibrosis, which is what happened here, this is all fibrosis. There's nothing left inside of here.
Dr. Joshua and I were grateful it was over. We then decided we were finished, we could reverse our anesthetic, get this kid back into a squeeze cage so he can recover with our keepers safely, calmly, and in peace.
That's it. Perfect.
And the next morning, he woke up, he had his breakfast, and he was able to go back to his friends. You go out into the wild, and it's a completely different game. Your perspective of life completely changes.